Barrows, and these are the day's top stories. After the release of the exam timetable on Friday, the Ministry of Education directed that those who are not candidates be sent home on Monday. In a directive that affects both public and private schools and is occasioned by the teacher strike, which enters its fourth week on Monday. KCSE oral and practical examinations are set to begin on the 28th of this month, while the KCPE papers will be done from the 10th to the 12th of November. Speaking during the exam timetable launch, Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang said adequate security measures have been put in place to ensure that the examinations go on smoothly without disruptions. NEC Chief Executive Officer Joseph Kivilu has urged all students to resist the temptation to cheat, as there will be stiff penalties for anybody found culpable.
The Ministry assures candidates, parents and guardians that the national examination calendar remains unchanged, and that's why we are launching this exercise today. Consequently, all examinations will continue as scheduled by the Kenya National Examination Council as per the timetable that has already been released.
A judge who allegedly promised Kenya that the amended Rule 68 would not be used in the case against Deputy President William Ruto has withdrawn from hearing an appeal challenging its application. Judge Sanji Masenono has been replaced by Judge Peter Kovacs to hear Ruto and journalist Arab Sang's appeal. Anglo-leasing prime suspects Chaman Lal Kamani and his two sons have lost a bid to terminate the criminal proceedings they're facing. This is after the High Court dismissed an application seeking to quash the criminal proceedings in the Magistrates Court on the grounds that they will not get a fair hearing. Justice George Odunga dismissed the Kamani's application as lacking merit, with no sufficient grounds to terminate the criminal proceedings referred against them in March. President Uhuru Kenyatta says improved bilateral relations between Kenya and Nigeria have increased trade. Speaking when meeting the outgoing Nigerian envoy Akintola Oyateru at State House, President Kenyatta said that the bilateral agreements signed during state visits between the two countries have borne fruit. President Kenyatta's state visit to Nigeria in 2014 witnessed the signing of a number of agreements and memoranda of understanding on cooperation in agriculture, tourism, transport, oil, gas security, immigration, and trade. A joint business council comprising 10 members from each country to coordinate was also established during the state visit. In 2014, Kenya's exports to Nigeria were valued at about 2.4 billion shillings, while the value of imports stood at 698 million shillings. National Women's Sevens team head coach Mark Shamia is planning to name a more defensive squad for the 2016 Africa Olympics qualifiers. The Lionesses opened their campaign against Botswana before taking on Tunisia, Madagascar and Senegal in a relatively easy Pool B as they quest to bag the only slot from the Continental Regional qualifiers. Shamia is aware of the task that awaits them after failing to book one of the two places available in the 2015-16 Rugby Women's Sevens Series season. But the tactician outlined their mission is one to reach the finals. The qualifiers are set for September 24th and 25th in Johannesburg, South Africa. For more on these and other stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Capital FM Kenya.